Okay, in the last segment we finished by finding that the sine of 10 degrees. Okay, in the last segment we finished by finding that the sine of 10 degrees with our calculator, I think we did that. The sine of 10 degrees was a small number, 0.174, because y divided by r for a 10-degree angle is quite small, but we don't have a button for cotangent, secant, and cosecant. That's more difficult. It's not just as easy as hitting cotangent 41.8. So I wrote over here to the far right the fact that the tangent of an angle is defined as y divided by x. And a bit ago we defined that cotangent of an angle is the reciprocal of that, x divided by y. This means that if you find one of those, you can just flip it and you'll have the answer for the other one, or it's the reciprocal. So if you want to find the cotangent of 41.8, all you need to do is to find the tangent of 41.8 and flip it. It's quite simple. So let's see if I can. Let's go tangent 41.8. Let's find that value. And then to flip a value, you hit your x to the minus 1 key, because x to the minus 1 means 1 over x. So you flip that answer and you get your value for tangent. It's 1.118. I'm sorry, cotangent. Secant of 7.8 degrees. It's the reciprocal of cosine. So go ahead, please. Find the cosine of 7.8 degrees. I'm expecting that to be about 0.85 or something. Whatever you get, then hit your x to the minus 1 key. Now I need you to know that's the same thing as typing 1 divided by the cosine of 7.8 is another way to do it. So I'm going to see if I can scroll this way far over. So option number 1 is to find the cosine of 7.8 degrees and then flip it to get your answer. Or take 1 divided by the cosine of 7.8 and you have your answer directly. Doesn't matter, either way. 1.009. Let's talk about this for just a minute for secant and cosecant. Secant, which is the reciprocal, I'm going to come on over here. Secant of an angle is the reciprocal of cosine. And cosecant of an angle is the reciprocal of sine. So since sine is defined as y over r, and therefore cosecant is r over y, and cosine is defined as x over r, and therefore secant is r over x, would you notice that these values right here, the r value is the hypotenuse in a right triangle. The hypotenuse in a right triangle is always bigger than a leg. So the values for secant and cosecant will always be bigger than 1. And likewise, we're going to talk about more in some future segments that the values for sine and cosine will always be less than 1 because in their denominator is the hypotenuse. Find the cosine of 73.6, please, by finding the sine of 73.6 and then hitting the x to the minus 1 key, or take 1 divided by the sine of 73.6 degrees, and either way you should get a number bigger than 1, 1.042. Okay, let's go in reverse. Let's go in the other direction with the calculator. We have done this already. So we have already done this, but I want to just do it a few more times. And I want to draw a picture. I'm always trying to draw pictures so that you can get a gut feel for what you're typing. It's one thing to just type it. It's another thing to understand it. So the tangent of your angle that you're looking to find, because I want to find theta. And we're going to go in the other direction with our calculator to do this. We call it the inverse of the functions, but it doesn't mean like reciprocal. So there's an angle that we're working with whose tangent is this. So I'm going to think of it as 2.470 over 1. Because remember, tangent of an angle is defined as y divided by x. So I'm wanting to draw a triangle whose y side is a good 2.5 times as big as the x side. So I want that side to be 2.5 times as long as that side. So that's what I think I should draw. So good enough. I'm going to use it. Remember, these are all for right triangles. And I want to know the size of that angle. So if this is really 2.470 when this is 1, I'm going to go ask my calculator what the size of this angle is. I think it's bigger than 45 degrees. I think it's bigger than 65 degrees. I don't know. Maybe, let's just go ahead and find it. So when I want to know the size of an angle and I'm given the ratio, I don't hit the tangent button directly. I go second tan. That's how I tell the calculator. I don't need to put divided by 1 because it's still just 2.470. So that's how I tell the calculator that I want to find the angle, which is close to 68 degrees. I'm going to call it 68 degrees if you don't mind. So theta is 68 degrees. And from now on, I'm just going to type the steps. So if you know the tangent of theta is 2.470, the way to get the value for the angle on your calculator is to go second tan of 2.470. To find the size of this angle theta, given the ratio, to find an angle, you've got to go second cosine. So that's the cosine to the minus 1 of the 0.814. And your calculator should give you 35.5 degrees. Let's kind of try to check that out. So if the ratio of my side x to my side r, so in my right triangle, the x side is 81% of my r side, then I need to keep this angle kind of small because I wanted this to be 0.814 when that's equal to 1. When that's the ratio, I wanted the x over the r to be that. I probably could have drawn a little bit bigger and gotten that 35 degrees. So again, I'm trying to get you to estimate. So 0.653 over 1. So that means y, the y value in this right triangle needs to be 65% of the hypotenuse. So I'm going to make this be 0.65 when that's 1. So here's theta. I want this to be 0.653 when that's equal to 1 because sine is defined as y over r. I don't need to be drawing all these pictures. I just need my calculator. And I just need to go second sine of 0.653. And let's see if it's about that size of an angle. 40 degrees? Yeah, that looks like 40 degrees. So I'm drawing these pictures for you to understand why the answer is 40.8 degrees. Okay, finally, pretty hard piece. Next page. If the secant of theta is 2.045, therefore over 1, then the cosine of theta is 1 over 2.0545, because remember they are reciprocals, secant and cosine. So if I want to find the angle theta, given secant is this, the way I would type that is to go second cosine, because I don't have a secant button, of 1 divided by 2.045. Let's see where I could move this so you could see this on the calculator. I'm going to try it like this. So second cosine of, I didn't need that parenthesis, 1 divided by 2.045 should give me a 60.7 degree angle. So I was looking for the angle here, 60.7 degrees, and the way I type it is like this. So cosecant and sine are reciprocal functions. So to find, and so since this is over 1, sine is 1 over 1.237. So to find theta, I go second sine for this one of the reciprocal, 1 over 1.237. And I get for that 53.9 degrees. One more time, cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. So to find theta, you're going to go second tan because you don't have a cotangent button. You're not going to put a 14 in here. You're going to put a 1 over 14. And finally, you'll get for that, it looks like 4 degrees, 4.0 degrees. I'm not going to worry about these relationships. There might be some homework problems